Hi, my name is Lucia Chabus, and I am a DC-based dancer, choreographer, and educator, and I am also the choreographer and director of Sana Sana. The first version of Sana Sana premiered in March 2024. That had been over a year of work and research for that. After the day of the performance, March 29, 2024, I remember feeling three different things. First, I was just feeling so grateful. The community that was at the performance and then also supporting the whole experience and show that day and week and months leading up to it really made me feel so much more grateful and appreciative. I was also just really joyful and happy. It went so well, and I was so proud of what we put on the stage, and I'm so proud of the dancers and the collaborators that I worked with. And then I was also a little bit relieved. It was a lot of work and it felt nice to have a product out there that I felt proud of, and relieved that I had some time to decompress and kind of reflect on the whole experience afterwards. What I learned from last year that I'm going to apply to this year's performance at Atlas Performing Arts Center is that I need to trust myself more. Last year, especially the months and weeks leading up to the performance, I felt a lot of pressure and a lot of stress that what I put on the stage and worked on in the studio had to be perfect, had to be amazing, had to be the best show in the world. And as soon as the performance happened, those expectations were gone because people just want to come and support and see art. And I just want to put art on stage that feels true and genuine to myself. So this year, I'm already feel a lot less stress and a lot less pressure on myself. I'm not spending 7 days a week working late nights thinking of choreography. I may be doing that a few nights a week, but not every day. I'm entering the studio with a lot more grace and appreciation towards myself. I'm just letting the ideas flow and letting them go out and then into my body before I go back and shift or redact or change them. I can say some words of things that one might see. Bowling, prayer, pause, this is an action, and of course frogs. I am coming back, I'm performing again. I'm really excited to be in this world again. Lemelin is returning, who was in the first version of Sana Sana last year and is a longtime collaborator of mine. In particular, the two of us have really good back and forth energy and vibes. We have a new short duet in this version that really is our relationship in movement and kind of our friendship and how we move through life together as friends. Like seeing people on stage and seeing the relationships in the community that they have and how it was really evident last year. I think this duet in particular, me and Sydney just bounce off of each other in a way that should be really exciting. She also is coming back and doing her cowgirl solo again, and it's still frog discoing. Ava Delasanta is one of our new dancers. Really wanted to bring her into this cast and this performance to have her tell some of her own stories through movement. Her section in particular is about her nani. Ava really thrives in jazzy jazz dance, and so I put a little bit of that in her section, and her section I think is really fun and captures the fun relationship that she has with her nani and sentimental at the same time. Another dancer and cast member of this version of Sana Sana is Allison Grant. She just graduated from American University last year, and we connected via Many Extra Only More, a Heart Stück Bernie performance a few years ago. I just really loved how she moves and how she approaches dancing in a studio and dancing in a performance. She's so eager and also so excited and always so positive in a dance space, and that's something that I really crave and want in my own dance spaces. Many times we'll be in rehearsal and I'm like second guessing something, and she's like, no, I think what you have is great. And sometimes, you need to change things around, and sometimes you just need someone to tell you, I think what you have is good, maybe we can tease it out a little bit more, but it makes sense. In her solo, there's a really awesome disco moment and also a lovely story about her and her sister that she shares. Over the past 3 years, I've really honed into what my artistic practice and choreographic style is in a way that I hadn't prior. And I think you really see that particularly in my solo material. I'm putting in movement that feels good on my body, that I love to do, and it feels so personal to me. I love performing my solo because it is really something I'm really proud have made. Seeing my movement and choreography on different dancers is a fun exploration too. I want the dancers to be themselves, and I also want them to find the embodiment of my artistry and my style and my movement. Inspirations for Sana Sana this version come from similar things from last year. My mom, healing my Hispanic lineage and heritage, and also particularly the dancers themselves. Jaden Brick was in last year's performance, was unable to be part of this year. A lot of our nuances and there's a lot of through lines that still come from Jaden's stories and from Jaden's involvement in last year's show. So I'm really excited for repeat audiences to maybe see some of Jaden's stories still in this year's version. I think another way of making conversation or making art about maybe more serious topics is approaching it from a different angle and lens. So I can talk about healing and talk about healing in a really intense way. I'm curious about how we can make art and make conversation about things and approach it from a way that might not be as ordinary. So if I'm talking about healing and identity and I'm coming from a lens of humor or energy or youthfulness, how does that then make folks think about healing in a different light? So much of my work and my art is me and is my personality, and I think it comes through in all the colors that are on the stage and all the different elements and pieces and props, and even the way that this is all set up feels so much like me and my core and my aesthetic. Particularly in Sana Sana, the narration is told through a voiceover of my mom speaking. And I think that particular part of the work humanizes it and will always give it a warm touch. At the beginning, she says hi, I'm Amber's mom. It starts with tenderness and it starts with heart. Also, that tenderness and heart is the emotion and is the deepness because it's a real human, it's a real voice speaking. So even throughout it, when things we're just going, we're bowling, we're doing silly duets, all of this is still tied through my mom's narration and through some of the tender solo moments and the moments where we're telling stories. It's kind of an up and down roller coaster, but it always has that through line that keeps the remembrance of what Sana Sana is about. Without that narration, I do think that the piece wouldn't be what it is. The whole thing is it's my mom's story. I think it continues to be something I'm interested in exploring, is how we can make art and dance and movement practices, how it can be about really hard and difficult things and how it can still have a touch of light. Right now, my art's about healing, and I'm gonna tell it with warmth and light and humor and also tenderness and emotion. I am really eager to bring Sana Sana to Atlas Performing Arts Center. It's a different venue than where it was presented last year. It's a smaller venue, smaller audience size, so it's inherently more intimate. Folks will be closer to us while we're telling our stories, and we'll also be much closer to the audience, and I'm curious how that will affect our performance. Will it feel more intimate and natural, which is what I hope. I'm also really eager to bring the Sana Sana world to a new space. This world is composed of the lights and the props and us as beings in our fun, colorful costumes, and seeing that light up a different stage and hopefully a different audience too is something I can only dream of. Shout out to the Amber Fan Club. If you didn't see them last year, they had these shirts that said Amber Fan Club with frogs on it in pink font. My dad saw them in the audience and he will not stop talking about the Amber Fan Club, so you know who you are. This version of Sana Sana will be performed at the Atlas Performing Arts Center on March 2nd at 5 p.m. I hope to see you there. Are you sure? Thanks, David.